is round one of the AUSPROAM Sim Series here on FGM Ecast, and it is going to be Jack Boyd and Luke Turner who are on the front row of the grid. Matty Carlione popping up into third with John Merritt in fourth, and we've got Jeff Connell, Lachlan Capel off row 3 with Andre Heimgartner and Dave Roberts off row 4. Then it's Matty Andrews and Daniel Cheney off 5 with Dustin Fletcher and Scotty Gray off row 6. And as we flip over the page, it's James Majok, and we've got Josh Fitt with Glenn Boyd, Tim Harris off 8, James Pettigrew and Hugh McLaughlin off 9 with Judd Potts and Arma Sharma off row 10. Then Angus Chappell and Jeffrey Wang off 11 with Zach Wentz-Smith and Paul Mansell off 12. Starting to get into the mix. Jordan Peter, Tim Audie off 13, Guy Leach, Maverick Benson off 14. Then it's Widders and Johnson off 15 with Rodell and Ruwalt off 16. Then Hen and Webster off 17, Court and Bond off 18. And then as we get through, it is Buchanan Hayes with Fitt and Audie. Then it's Brookfield, 11, Carpenter, Derek Audie, Mitchell Bolton, Sam Lehman, Aaron Raccanello, and then it is Hayden Jackson rounding out the 48 starters here tonight.
Yeah, looking forward to this one. It's going to be an exciting one. Of course, as well, the other thing this season is the AMs are going to be in the Radicals, of course, and the Pros will be in the DPI. So that's a different format to what we had last year, where it was just choose your own adventure almost. So it's that's going to make things a little bit different tonight. That's going to be exciting. Yeah,
it certainly is. So these LMP2s, my goodness, what a machine. So expect this to be really, really close racing here. And if you thought you enjoyed what you saw in Pass 2, you're going to get set for more of it with a really, really strong field of drivers from 23 down in those Radicals. They are going to be ridiculously quick. There's some names in there that I'm familiar with who are new to the series, and some of those guys can absolutely turn a wheel. If they couldn't, they wouldn't be in this series, so they would have not qualified at all. So here we are, and it is going to be Jack Boyd leading us away at the front of the field with Luke Turner
in front. So we're going to get ready to go green here. They're going to come around the bus stop for the first time, and then we'll be coming across the line. It's going to be Jack Boyd leading the way. Gets a good start, but just behind him, Matty Carlione gets an even better one. Matty Carlione getting a fantastic launch there. How's it going to go into the first corner? That's going to be where the trouble's happening, and we've already got trouble down towards the bus stop as some of the Radicals have got caught up, unfortunately. There's a big incident down towards the bus stop already, and a few cars are on there, have just been rolled over a little bit, but they have managed to get it back going. Meanwhile, getting up through Eau Rouge and Radion for the first time tonight. Looks like the front pack have managed to make it through pretty clean at the moment. No major incidents that I can see as we look down the field. All of the prototypes are running. And if we look down to the Radicals, it is Paul Mansell just in the lead as it stands in the Radicals. So the Radicals absolutely all over each other.
Everywhere down there. It looks like there might have been a check-up as well in the LMPs. A few changes of positions. So we'll go back and check through that.
A big moment for Luke Turner, I believe. Luke Turner dropping way, way down in the number 9 Chunga Toyota as he gets into the 222 there. Big moment, and that is Zach Wentz-Smith.
Oh, and as he's rejoined as well, there's going to be a big check-up here. Hopefully people can avoid it. They've got to stay there. Just stay still. Don't go anywhere. Just hold on. Hold on. Don't go anywhere. What are you doing? Oh, he's got around just in time there. And it looks like Wentz-Smith's jumped back into pit lane. That was challenging. That's probably the word for it. Timothy Hancock says, go the cows. Absolutely. We're moving for them right now, Tim.
It's just, you're just milking it now, Stuart. Luke Turner just getting a little bit wide as he was coming out of Lacombe. He just got onto the gravel, and then there was a huge checkup behind him, and that's sort of what caused that incident to happen up there. So unfortunately for those guys, but we have got a race going on up the front as they are pretty much free wide. You can see them just getting cut across the bus stop chicane there. Matty Carlione's managed to keep it just in front of John Merritt, Lachlan Capel, Jeff Connell, Dave Roberts, Andrew Heimgartner. It's pretty much a who's who of the AUSPASS series. There are so many up there at the moment, it's hard to actually say all the names.
There's a fair amount of damage there as well on the front of Glenn Boyd's car. He just got caught up at the end of up into the bus stop there with Andrew Hayes and Jeffrey Wang. Looks like they've continued to have a few issues. But at the front here, It is status quo. Jack Boyd out in front. Good opportunity as we see John Merritt there just having a dance around in the background. To mention major sponsor simrigs.com for the series, and of course Echuca Toyota as well on these, adorning these two cars, running second and third, both of them sponsoring again. I thank them very much for their help, along with Computer Technology Corporation, HJ Plant Repairs, 93PC and Phoenix Smokers, all on board for this series this year. So do support the people that support the stream. Jump onto the website and have a look at those businesses. Give them the business where you can. So we're on board now with one of the newcomers, Arma Sharma. He's just in front of Tim Harris in the Locked On Lads entry. We've got Lachlan Capel just behind them as well. So Lockie jumping up into the pro category for this season. Oh, as he grabs a bit of curb there, does Arma, but keeps it going. That's going to give Tim Harris an opportunity to potentially get down underneath him here under brakes. Decides against it, jumps back into the draft. You can see Lachlan Capel a little bit further back there. Joe Potts, Luke Turner, Angus Capel, as well as Daniel Cheney. So a few of the old and the new. This is the battle here for P11.
You would have noticed as well, just up the field, you would have just caught it slightly. Jeff Connell getting passed by Matt Andrews and Scott Gray. So Jeff Connell losing a couple of spots there in that final sector. So just losing a few spots instantly. Good drive from Timothy Harris to get up into the pro category, of course. He was the third place AM driver last season and set a fantastic lap time getting him up into the pros this year. So good job on his behalf, just getting past Armin Shaman there. So Timothy Harris on the move in the Locked On iRacing car.
How's the onboard view out of one of these? This is the LMP2 we're riding with here of Jeff Connell. That's pretty much it. That's what you get to see. So
that's more than you get to see from the driving position.
Absolutely.
Almost, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see if we can jump on. Actually, we do. I think we do have that position. No, we don't, because it's such a new car. We haven't got the camera angle mapped, but there's not a lot to see out of these Delaras. They're actually, this car's only been on iRacing now just over 12 months. It was a COVID 2020 release from iRacing, so they are a fantastic piece of kit.
Yeah, very much so. The Delara chassis, of course, these things are just so cool. They're a very, very different beast, of course, but it is a very different style of car. Jack Boyd coming into pit lane. So he is the first stop up the front, and he has got a whole group of cars coming with him. So it looks like they are pretty much running on fumes at the moment. So I don't think anybody is keeping it out there, are they? No. Jeff Connell making me a liar with Matt Andrews and Ahmed Shamar there, keeping it out there. Luke Turner as well, keeping it out too. So a few drivers just keeping it out for one more lap. And they're just going to take that little bit of, possibly a little bit of pain and just keeping the revs down a little bit just to save a little bit of fuel, but they'll be able to make a much quicker stop and take on a little bit less time. So
as Matt Andrews has an issue, Maverick Benson in the meantime has taken the lead in the M class. Ross Maverick, current team championship winner from season 4. So he'll be looking for a good start to his season 5 campaign. He's got Jordan Peter and Matty Johnson behind him, with newcomer James Ruwalt as well. He's running up in P4 ahead of Daniel Webster, who is the defending champion of the AM class. In fact, multiple champion. He is back-to-back champion of the AM class, so we'll see how he goes this season, see if he can take out the treble, as Jeff Connell and Luke Turner are into pit lane.
Going back to look at Matt Andrews, sorry, 'cause I've got a feeling he might have had either a technical issue or may have run out of fuel. So Matt Andrews ran out of fuel. He took that risk going that extra lap, and it did not pay off for Matt Andrews. He ran out of fuel. That car started coughing and spluttering, so he had to turn it back to pit lane.
Oh, right, okay, there you go. I was surprised.
So that's how tight it was on fuel there.
Obviously, Jeff Connell, a master of fuel saving, and I wondered as well, yeah, Arma Sharma there has run out of fuel as well, so went with Connell on the basis they might get there. I did hear when we were on board with Jeff Connell there that he was fuel saving, so he must have got there by the drip of an oily rag.
I like it. I like a little bit of pun there. I love slightly fake advertising like that because that really makes me smile. And just behind him is Jordan Peters. So there are 3 drivers absolutely on it right now at the front, and that battle is very much on as it stands. So keep an eye on that battle because that is getting really close.
Now we're looking out the back wing here of Maverick Benson. You can see the Red Roo entry just there on alongside him. So Maverick will like his chances here because he's got the inside line. He can't close it out, and he does. So he's going to be able to defend that position. But as you're saying, Jordan Peter coming through as well. And in fact, Jordan Peter closing up on the back of Johnson. Oh, as Johnson gets loose there, Matty Johnson is just going to duck down to the inside, try and defend that position from Jordan Peter. We'll stick back here. Just keep an eye on what goes on. See if he can get that done. Just gets out of the corner a little better than Peter does, so it means he can open that gap up again. He's got to try and chase now if he can to get this one done. Got 5 minutes to go here in this race before our main feature race coming up straight after this one. And Red Roo just having to do some defending.
The most famous of Australian energy drinks, of course. Really gives you a kick in the morning. Gets you hopping down the street, some would say.
Oh, wow.
Jack Paul has got a fairly decent lead of about 2 seconds at the moment out front, in front of Matty Cardleone and John Merritt. Dave Roberts in 4th and Andrew Heimgartner in 5th at the moment. But we've got some good battles going on throughout the field. It's just keeping an eye on where the biggest battle is at the moment. And you've got to say, Jeff Conlon's trying to make a bit of a move on Scotty Gray as it stands, with Dustin Fletcher just behind him as well. So there is a little bit of a battle starting to pick up there.
Yeah, absolutely. So, just having a look here, trying to work out who's going what. We've got a whole heap more of these LMPs come in, so they're
They made a mistake.
heavily fuel restricted because Connell is going to be all good.
Well, we saw Connell made it an extra lap and he put more fuel in there. He was stationary for a lot longer, and I think
It's a
what
huge
it is,
mistake.
I think it was just everybody miscalculating just a tiny bit. They've miscalculated by a good 2 laps. So they have really, really made a big mistake there, and that's going to cost them a huge amount of time. So that could be disastrous. We'll have to see how Jeff Conlon and Luke Turner go now. Will they have enough fuel to the end? We saw they could make it 1 lap longer. They were stationary for a good second and a half. Well, that's almost 2 seconds longer than the rest of the pack. So they may well have just completely stolen a victory here away from everybody else's noses.
There's only 1 more lap to go. Once we get around this time, it'll be under 2 minutes, and there'll be 1 lap to go. So this is an absolutely brilliant strategy call by them, and disappointing for those 2 cars that ran out of fuel.
Yeah, that could have been a fantastic result for them if they just managed to ease it off a little bit and get around with that, just saving a little bit more fuel.
Well, as it stands at the moment, there's a 15-second gap back to Jack Boyd and Matty Cardleone with 1 lap to go. I mean, they can roll out of the throttle a little bit here and make sure they make their way home.
They're looking pretty good, you got to say. Luke Turner and Jeff Connell at the moment up in the front of the LMP2 category.
Just jump back here to the the AM category. Jordan Peter now under pressure from James Ruwalt. So Ruwalt, a debutant here, and he is all over the back of Jordan Peter. In fact, he's just jumped down to the inside here, trying to get the run. And he's going to get it done. He's used the draft very well there, got a really good run, and moves up into P2.
Really good racing we're seeing out there at the moment, and some interesting and good strategy calls as well, as Connell has gone on to his final lap. So he's going to be pretty chuffed about this one, just working that one out perfectly. So
There's a battle going on in the background here as well. Look at this one. We've got Webster Hen and Alex Court, along with Arma Sharma. He's coming back through in that LMP2, having to fight off the Flyers with the high-pitched noise out of those V8. And he's trying to make his way through here, getting done down the straight. Oh, he's on the headlights. Got the headlights going.
Flash. I mean, it is the thing of multi-class racing. Of you keep your line and just let the faster LMP just get past you because it's they've got more downforce and speed than you generally. There's contact. There's contact there.
Yeah, that's Lachlan Capel. Tim Harris. Oh no! It's like he's come back on there. He's ended up going underneath, or he's had a radical go underneath that car. That is a broken LMP2 there. He will be kicking himself, Lockie. And Tim Harris is going to make his way back past there. There's going to be Jeff Connell. He's coming down the final straight now. He's going to come through. Barring anything untoward, he's going to take the win here. First win of the season, first win of season 5. 2021 of the AUSPROAM Sim Series. And he's going to get it across the line there.
An absolute masterstroke on the strategy there.
Flash of the headlights there.
And Luke Turner as well. Fantastic drive for Luke Turner as one of the radicals of Aaron Rasalio. Just goes round just in the bus stop, but looks like everybody's made it through. Luke Turner, who'd had a bit of a disastrous race, dropped way back after the start. We saw Luke Turner drop down the order, but used that the fuel save to his advantage and really got that place back.
Yeah, absolutely. So just having a focus here on the AM class, and it is Maverick Benson, Jordan Peter, and Matty Johnson behind him. So there's a chance, a very slim chance here that Matty Johnson might be able to get something done. Hasn't quite managed to make it happen. So you'd like to think this one is all done and dusted. Just never know.
That's the big thing, is there's still going to be battles out on the track, and there's still racing going on. This is one of the times where it gets very messy, because you've got LMP2 cars, you've got radicals, you've got everything going on. I was just looking at Christopher Hen. He's got an absolute mad pack behind him, and Daniel Webster, what we're watching now, there are just cars all over the place trying to get through and get their positions saved. But Maverick Benson's going to be leading the pack and leading the charge as he goes through Blanchemont one more time, coming up to the bus stop for the final time tonight. It's going to be Maverick Benson taking out the radical win. A great job from him, with Jordan Peter in second and James